Welcome to a program on Pilgrim and Sowams settler Hugh Cole. I'm Dr. David Weed, coordinator of the Sowams Heritage Area Project, and I'll be your host for this presentation. The area around Warren, Rhode Island was once called Sowams by the first people to occupy the area over the past 10,000 years until the arrival of Europeans. This was the home of the Massasoit Osamequin, who signed a treaty in 1621 with the Pilgrims. The Pokanoket tribes he led occupied Sowams, or the southern area of what is today part of Massachusetts and all of East Bay, Rhode Island. It wasn't until Plymouth Pilgrims Edward Winslow and John Hampton came to Sowams in July of 1621 to meet with the Massasoit Osamequin that any Europeans had visited the area. They returned on many occasions and earned the trust of the Massasoit Osamequin over the years. Later, Pilgrim Miles Standish visited and called Sowams the Garden of the Patent and the Flower of the Garden because it was already cleared and ready for planting and grazing animals. A trading post was established in Sowams to trade furs for European goods. The English wanted to keep the Dutch, who had already been in the area, from trading with the Pokanokets. The post was likely built on the west bank of the Kickamuit, where the Bristol County Water Authority now sits on Child Street in Warren. In 1653, the Massasoit Osamequin and Wamsutta, his eldest son, sold a large tract of land from the Providence River to the Taunton River. The land later became the town of Swansea, and then was divided off into Barrington and Warren. A Baptist church was established on the Palmer River at Knockham Hill, and other houses were built there, along with a garrison house named for Reverend Miles. About 20 settlers moved into the area around the Kickamuit River. This provided access to fresh and salt water, as well as an abundance of migrating fish and water transportation to Narragansett Bay. The water route south took colonists by King Phillip settlement at the Narrows in today's Bristol and Warren. Other settlers settled near the Bourne garrison in Mattapoisett, now in Swansea, and one of them was Hugh Cole. Hugh Cole was baptized on June 28, 1628, in Barnstaple, Devonshire, England. He traveled with his family at age 5 or 6 from England to the Pilgrim settlement at Plymouth, Massachusetts in 1631. As a 6-year-old boy, he was paid 50 bushels of corn by the town of Plymouth in 1634 for tending the cows of the townspeople. James Cole, his father, became a freeman in Plymouth about 1634. He obtained a license to operate a public house, and by 1637, his first violation of the liquor control laws was recorded in the court records. A later account describes the throwing of stools and general disturbance until early morning hours at his establishment. By 1640, the court withdrew James Cole's license to sell liquor, after which he was fined for selling liquor without a license. His license was not restored until 1645. Unlike his father, Hugh Cole had fewer encounters with the courts for violating the laws and became a prominent citizen. He married Mary Foxwell on January 8, 1654 in Plymouth, and he was the founder of the new town of Swansea in 1667 and became a prominent church leader in the newly formed Baptist Church at Knockham Hill. Hugh Cole's first 7 children were born in Plymouth. In 1668, he moved his family to Swansea and built a home on 40 acres on the west bank of the Mattapoisett River, now called Coles River. His brother John also moved with him to Swansea. Cole's house was burned in the war, and a new house was built on the same site that you can now see on Pierce Road in Swansea. Cole was active in the management of the town and was chosen as a surveyor. He served as a selectman from 1672 to 1675 and was a deputy to the Plymouth Colony General Court in 1673, 74, and 75. He became a member of the Swansea Prudential Affairs Committee in 1672 and served several times as a juror. Cole was a frequent visitor to the settlement in present-day Bristol, where the Massasoit son Metacomet, later to be called King Phillip, lived. Over the years, he got to know King Philip well. In the spring of 1675, Cole reported seeing the arrival of warriors from other tribes at the settlement. Over the years, the English population in and around Swansea had exploded, while the Pokanoket population declined due to multiple infectious disease outbreaks. By 1675, increasing tensions over the treatment of the colonists led to the outbreak of the King Philip War and the near genocide of the Pokanoket people. In June 1675, at the commencement of the war with King Philip, 2 of Hugh Cole's sons were made prisoners by the Indians and taken to Philip at Mount Hope. Philip ordered them set at liberty because, as he said, Hugh Cole had always been his friend. Philip sent word to Hugh that he could no longer restrain his warriors and for him to take his family and immediately remove to Rhode Island. This he did, and 1 hour afterward his home was in flames. While he had been on such friendly terms with Philip, his home was the first home burned in Swansea. The story goes that as Cole rolled away, King Philip pulled this chair from the house and sat in it, watching the house burn as Cole rode away to Portsmouth with his family. However, the story may only be apocryphal. The real chair is in the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, while this replica sits in the Martin House Museum in Swansea, where it can be seen today. This is the route that Cole took to Portsmouth after his house was burned at the start of the King Philip War. Hugh's family remained in Portsmouth during the war. Although Hugh Cole's record of military service during King Philip's War is unknown, he was frequently recorded as Sergeant Hugh Cole afterwards. Upon his return to Swansea, Hugh rebuilt his home at a new location. He was again elected selectman and deputy and resumed his active role in town affairs. His new farm was located on Crab Pond, just south of Job Winslow's farm, where the King Philip War broke out. Only the original well remains today, along with a plaque that you can see on the bike path south of the Kickamuit Middle School. Once uncovered, a wooden cover was placed over the well 20 years ago to prevent vandalism. A historic marker there tells the story, and if you go to the Hugh Cole well, you can read all about Hugh Cole on this marker. Hugh and Mary Cole had 12 children. They are listed here to the right. The date of Mary's death is not known. Hugh married twice after Mary's death. Cole died in Swansea, Massachusetts on January 26, 1699, aged about 72 or 73. Cole is buried at Tyler Point Cemetery, Swansea, now in Barrington, Rhode Island, where there is no marker for his grave. The Benjamin Cole House was constructed on Old Warren Road in nearby Swansea in 1701 for the grandson of James Cole, the son of Hugh Cole. The house contains original woodwork throughout the interior and exterior and has a central chimney that feeds 6 fireplaces. According to owner Eileen Pereira, the Indian room was constructed with 2-inch thick wooden planks going around the entire room to keep children safe from arrows. The Coles River in Swansea was named for Hugh Cole. His descendants built a hotel in Warren in 1762. It later burned. Warren School is named for him, the Hugh Cole School. And today, Hugh's family is spread far and wide. To learn more about Hugh's family, go to drweed.net/coleshistory.pdf and you can read all about it.